My whole life and my whole career, all I want to do is make stuff with people that excite me, and this was such an exciting group of artists. I was just felt really lucky to be along for the ride.
We're doing it right now.
We're doing it right now. I'm improvising this whole interview. So are you.
Exactly. Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we're at the Tribeca Film Festival red carpet premiere of American Woman. Can you tell me a little bit about American Woman and what made you want to be involved in this film?
Well, American Woman is adapted from a novel by the same name, and the novel is a fictionalization of the events that happened after Patty Hearst was kidnapped. There was a Japanese-American woman named Wendy Yoshimura who was arrested with Patty in San Francisco by the FBI, but not much was really known about her. So Susan Choi, the novelist, really did a lot of research and wrote a story around this character. And so even though it's the Patty Hearst story, it's really from my character, Jenny Shimada's point of view.
Can you tell me a little bit about American Woman and what inspired you to direct this film?
Yes, I was inspired when I first read the novel, which is by Susan Choi, and it's an incredible novel. And something about this story really reminded me of some of my favorite movies, like Badlands and Bonnie and Clyde, the sort of like American outlaw movies, because it's a story of these two women who are on the run from the law. And I thought, this has got to be a movie. And then I was like, I know how to do this movie.
That's incredible. So what was it about this cast specifically that kind of came together to create the film that you envisioned?
Well, I met Hong Chau about the part, and we talked for like 3 hours, and I just knew that she understood the character maybe even better than I did. She had read the book, she had read the script, the way she talked about it, she inspired me to understand my own script better. Sarah Gadon I've known for a really long time because we're both from Canada.
Oh.
She's sort of like, she's like Canada's sweetheart. And I was watching her incredible performance in Alias Grace, and I was sitting there watching it on TV, and I was like, she has to play Pauline. Oh my God. And I was lucky enough to be able to text her and ask her right on the spot. So it came together so amazingly. It's just a dream cast.
Could you talk a little bit about the themes of this film?
I think ultimately it's about very frustrated people that are trying in their best way to make their home a better place, to make their country a better place. They're not really doing it in I think the healthiest manner, but they're trying so hard to have an identity and to have a voice, and they kind of fall and fail along the way in trying to do that.
I'd known Semi, who directed the film beforehand, as an Emmy Award-winning writer, and I was just a big fan of her work. And so when she asked me to be a part of the film, I thought I would love the opportunity to work with you. And then when I read this story and realized that it's a historical fiction, but it's inspired by the relationship between Wendy and Patricia Hearst, and I thought, oh wow, this is a really interesting, fresh take on a story that a lot of people already know. And I think that's what makes Semi kind of brilliant, is her ability to look at a story and crack it from a different angle.
I was really excited by Semi's work. She had done some amazing writing work for Mad Men. Semi Chellas is our writer and director. And then I saw who was attached to it already. When I saw Hong's name and Sarah's name and Lola's name, I knew it had to be special if they were doing it. And then I read it, and I really fell in love with the script.
So getting into your role, what was that like?
Well, she's also someone who's been through a lot of trauma, so it was more about embracing a lot of the kind of trauma and psychological abuse that she went through. And for that, it was kind of a really difficult state of being to be living in constantly. And so when the film wrapped, I was like, I'm really happy to be done with this character and out of this kind of frame of mind.
Working with Sarah was great. In the script, it describes her as ethereal, and I couldn't think of anybody else who embodies that word better than Sarah. And we just had a great time. I mean, it was stressful, everything that we were doing, but it was nice to be in that sort of tension together, because I think we both come from the same place as actors, where we put the work first and we just show up ready to work.
I play kind of a stand-in for one of those renegade kind of political warriors who has kidnapped this young heiress, and it was a complicated guy. It was a complicated character, and I felt for him. I felt like he was pretty confused, and it just seemed like it would be fun to play with that role and to do something with this cast and to work with Semi. And so I jumped at the opportunity to be involved.
What is it like to adapt a book? What kind of goes into that, like picking the scenes that you want or things you want to get rid of? Or...
Oh yeah, that's a really good question. So the book is so huge and contains so many years, and it really was about finding how to take all the very internal story from the book and realize it in the screen in a way that's like full of events and keeps moving. And so it was like a giant process of distilling the essence of the book, and things were changed, but I feel like in some way the more I changed, the more I was faithful to the spirit of the book, which is really, it like raises all these questions. It's a very provocative book, and I wanted to make a provocative movie.
If you like my videos, make sure to click that subscribe button for more coverage from Tribeca Film Festival. See ya!